Nickie Aiken.
Thank you, Sir David, and it is a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship, and I welcome this debate brought by my honourable friend, the member for Carshalton and Wallington. I declare an interest before I start. I have two teenagers who do enjoy the under-18s free travel at the moment. I recognise the huge detrimental effect that COVID-19 has had on TfL's finances. Anyone using the tube or bus will know the dramatic fall in passenger numbers. I travelled here this afternoon on the tube, and the numbers of people in the carriage and in the stations, they are empty. But I think we need to accept that the rot in the TfL finances had set in way before COVID, and much of the blame for the reason TfL is in such an awful mess can be laid at Mayor Khan's door. The loss of the government's decision to phase out the operating revenue element of the TfL grant, yes, had some effect. Losing £700 million a year would have been difficult to absorb, but the Mayor knew this before he took over and stood for election and made his fare freeze. There was no strategic thinking about what could happen in City Hall once he was elected, and to introduce a major fare freeze across the network, despite advice from his own Transport Commissioner not to do so, he ignored. And that led to an extra loss of £640 million on top of the £700 million, which then led the Mayor having over £1 billion loss before he'd even done his first year. The ill thought, this whole issue has also led to, at the same time, a fall in passenger numbers, a triple whammy if you think about it. And this was even before the COVID struck. And in my own constituency now, people are feeling the effects of the inability of the Mayor to be able to now invest in the infrastructure. The people in Pimlico, I may add, are desperately needing the tube to be upgraded because of the terrible noise they have to deal with, and the Mayor and his own deputy have made personal promises to the people of Pimlico, which now can't be kept. One of the big issues that has really affected my constituency of the Cities of London and Westminster has been the extension of the Congestion Charge. And the number of constituents and businesses have come to me to say they are so concerned about the extension up to 10 o'clock at night, Monday to Friday, and then also the extension now on Saturdays and Sundays as well. Many people now describe it now as a two-tier system because the Mayor, at the same time as extending the congestion charge, has also stopped the resident discount. Now, from the 1st of August, it means now that no matter how long you've been living within the congestion charge zone, your circumstances may change. You may get older. You may become frail. You may have children that are infirm, that you need to travel around and use a car. They can no longer benefit from the 90% reduction, and that is having a massive issue. I've had doctors, pharmacists, foster carers, charity workers, market traders all say to me that the extension of the congestion charge and the ending of the discount is having a real detrimental effect on their lives. One doctor who came to me lives in Westminster, has now been posted out onto the Surrey border. He wanted to use his car because of the times of his shifts, and he now has to drive, and that now adds £15 extra onto his daily commute. I had a market trader in Covent Garden who said to me she works 2 days a week on Saturdays and Sundays. It's her own small business. It's now added, the congestion charge on a Saturday and Sunday has added £1,500 to her bottom line. At a time when we are trying to have an economic recovery, this is another blow to small businesses. Why can't the Mayor consider the gross over-expenditure that he has introduced? The pensions within TfL. The employees now have a 31% contribution from their employer, compared to 13% for doctors and nurses and police officers and firemen and teachers. Why should TfL employees benefit from that? Why has there been an increase of nearly 100 people who now earn £100,000 in TfL? All this fat could be cut so that TfL could keep the fares for under 18s and the over 60s. It's got to change. The Mayor has got to be held to account on this, Sir David.